Say good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay. So Auntie Alia and I are going to have a chat, and you're going to sit here with us. Is that okay? Okay? Right. He's still deciding, so we'll let him have a think about it. He doesn't know what he signed up for. Thank you. Thank you all. I think that it's been an amazing day where we've just had so much food for thought. And I think the beauty of it really came together in this last panel, because you can see the possibilities already. And as many of you have described, you know, what do we do with the system? How do we get the government in the room? They're really the people who need to hear all of this. And yes, whilst there is that dimension, and as lawyers and practitioners, we're always eager to bring everybody to the table. But I also see that there is such energy and so much great work already afoot that I want to congratulate all of you for being here to think about how, you know, what role you can all play, and you know, the questions you're asking, for example, about Project Bridge, I think those are exactly the ones to be asking. How can I connect with this? How can I contribute here? Because we already have the space. So it's been absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I leave this. I promised you that you would leave this session full of hope, and I hope that that is truly how you feel as we conclude the conference. It was actually Dr. Judith Reikus. The first time I ever met her, she asked a question to a room not unlike this, and she said, what is it that social workers and frontline workers need to be effective in ensuring permanency for their children clients? And I raised my hand. I was the first one as a lawyer, right? I was like, I know. I said hope. And she said, what do you mean by that? And I couldn't answer the question. And she's the one who told me that hope is just having the knowledge and the skills and having seen proven strategies that you know are going to work so that you can see children and families. And we recognize that over 2 days we can't give you all the knowledge and skills that you need. And you haven't seen proven strategies for every circumstance that you face. But I hope that at least your hope meter is increased a little bit, that you have a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more skills, that you've seen how some of these strategies have been proven even in the environment in which we're all working, and that it is possible to find children safe, loving, and permanent families. And it's not just possible, it's their human right. It's a child's right to grow up in a family. And that is based on law that we are all obligated to follow. I was particularly encouraged that the concepts that we learned over the last 2 days are not so difficult. Isn't that right, Pooja?
Yep. It's actually everything that's within our reach and within our comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that we've been able to sit together and brainstorm collectively and listen to each other shows that we do already have a common language. Mm-hmm. And I think with Judy's presentation, we now know what are some of the things we might not be getting right in terms of our communication and how we can adapt our strategies to engage with each other more effectively. And hopefully we can find ways in which we can push that much further with the work that we do. So we had a personal charter session, but we're not going to do the session. But what I will do is share with you in my sort of professoriate style a little piece of homework that I hope you do. And the next time that we gather, I really hope that you can share sort of your reflections. So, you know, over the past 2 days, we've had these posters up where you've had space to contribute some of your thoughts. And it's been wonderful to read all of your input, where you've described sort of your visions for how you think the child welfare system can be improved and what each of us can do to help sort of realize that. Some of those and sort of goals are for other parties. So for example, the government should X or social workers should Y, but a lot of the goals are quite personal. Such as I want to learn how to better X and I want to learn how to better Y. One of the things that really struck me as I was reading and as I heard a lot of people, both in questions and also in presentations, was there are a lot of things we can already now start to anticipate in terms of what a permanent family or permanency planning situation looks like. What are the building blocks of a long-term caring family? And what are some of the steps that you need to go through in Hong Kong if you have a child at any particular junction of the system where they're trying to enter? You know, and so if we can get together and start anticipating more effectively what the flow might look like, we can start to engage processes more effectively. So perhaps I can leave you with this sort of task. Consider your own goals and objectives for the next year and ask yourself what you would now do differently. Who would you now engage and enlist in your collaborative effort to make child permanency and planning a reality for all children in Hong Kong? And I particularly want to echo the voices we've heard today about children who are either undocumented or left out of the consideration of many of these sort of conversations because they're seen as not Hong Kong. It doesn't matter. The most relevant thing is that they're children. And by that very reason, they have that right.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pooja. We learned the 3 building blocks for affecting real permanency. That is holistic assessment with early intervention, how we can collaborate across multi-disciplines so that we can meet the unique needs of every child, even those who have very complex backgrounds. And finally, we don't have to do it by ourselves. There are resources available for us in the community. We don't have to be an expert in absolutely everything. So thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you for giving your energy. Thank you for being so willing to connect with each other. And we hope that these friendships and relationships will continue as we go forward. You've given us a lot to think about, Pooja, about how we can apply what we've learned over the last 2 days in each one of our practices and disciplines. And again, we want to say, at least from Mother's Choice perspective, we hope this is just the beginning of many future conversations where we can equip each other and encourage each other as we fight for children to be in loving and safe families. And so I just want to say a special thank you to Hong Kong University and to the Faculty of Law. Thank you so much for hosting us here. This has been, such a beautiful environment, and meeting with you and your colleagues has been truly an honor and a privilege. I want to say thank you to the Hong Kong Council of Social Services, also to Excel 3 and all of our social science, social work colleagues who've really supported this effort, as well as to some of our sponsors who've really made this possible, including Patrick Marie Herbe from the Abacare Group, Emmanuel Merle, and Jai Wani. We're so grateful to them. And I just want to remind you as we leave, we have evaluation forms on the registration table, and I'd really encourage you to fill them in. It helps us to do a better job and to meet your needs going forward. If we're able to host more conferences like this, we want to make sure that they're helpful to you and that they address the real problems that you actually face. And when you fill in your evaluation form, we will also give you your certificate of attendance at the same time. All right? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alia. May I also just request all of you to please join us both in thanking the amazing administrative team that has been supporting the event through and through over the past year, and particularly in the lead up to these weeks and today and yesterday. In particular to the team at Mother's Choice, who's been really amazing, and also to the CCPL team, Joyce, Roshan, and all the students who've been helping, and our colleagues also who are behind the scenes, but very much been giving a lot of time to planning and executing this. So Lindsay, Lucy, Marty, we're really, really very grateful for all of your input. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, come on. You can give Auntie Alia a high five. Can we get a high five? Oh, yeah.